the 11th of January 2020. Am I correct? I have often asked, people have asked the question, what is it that a project like the NFGCSFARMS estate, what is the impact of a project like this on our national development and growth? And I say the central bank, the Ministry of Agric, the federal government must begin to take seriously the concept of integrated farms across the country to be able to achieve the real national development and growth that we desire for this country. See, we must look at the Israeli model, the cubic model in Israel, where you build farm settlement centers, where you build RUGAs, where you build zones, industrial zones, whose job is to become productive all year round. I am in Nasarawa State. This is January 2022. And in Nasarawa State in January 2022, you're able to see fresh maize. You're able to see ugu, plantain, bitter leaf, pepper, and all of them in the open fields. You're able to see this because we were able to tap into the dam that was constructed by the farm, and you can see the cows. So the dam is not only serving the farm, it's also serving the animals. You can see the water treatment plant somewhere on this other axis. The water treatment plant is also supposed to provide clean water. So you have a dam, rain-fed dam, that provides water to feed over 20 hectares of irrigated farm. You have a dam that feeds the cattle that come to drink water. You have a dam that's able to feed us with our own drinking water, and it is all rain-fed. Now, if you don't develop the Nigerian agricultural space beyond the wet season farming, while all of us as a nation, 200 million people begin to wait for rain to fall. We begin to wait for rain to fall before we can do agriculture. This is 2022, for goodness sake. Somebody should wake me up. I often say that our failure as a country is our fault as a people. Say Nigeria yeyera because we useless. Say you think say Nigeria know they work now because we don't want work. Listen, both at the central bank level, at the Ministry of Agric level, at the federal government level, at the state level, and at the local government level, we must focus on what matters. What matters is that we have only two sources of technology. We get land and we get people. The Chinese had land and they had people, and they utilized them to become the most productive economy in the world. China is a recent developed nation that was underdeveloped about 3, 4, 5 decades ago. Nigeria have land and we have people. 80 million arable hectares of farmland. Over 200 million people. Average age of about 19 years old. Why is it that we cannot deploy this uneducated population into industrial parks, into farm industrial park, into farm zone that will do all that needs to be done? But, more importantly, government must understand that this is the time for government to spend. Government must understand that this is time for government to give out loans at very low rate. Government must understand that this is time for government to be reckless when it comes to investment in agriculture. Yes, the central bank has spent $1 billion. Yes, Buhari government has done over $1 trillion rather on agriculture. The question is, people like us, I lead the Nigerian Commercial Farmers Forum, a forum of commercial farmers across the country. Over 30 commercial farmers who are struggling to get by. Why are they struggling to get by? Because of lack of fund. Too many of us commercial farmers are going to the private market. Too many of us are going to market where we get money and then repay principal plus interest in 6 months, in 1 year. That is not helping us because you cannot develop all of this. You cannot build all of this. You cannot build a dam, build a power line, build all of the infrastructure to sustain agriculture as a private man and expect to make money. And so this is it. You see, in an industrial estate, you can do all of the above. You can be a ranch. You can be a processing plant. You can be a crop cultivating unit. You can have all of them in one place. But because it takes time to develop, you need government to come in heavily. You need infrastructure. You need low cost, low funding. And then you need patient fund that is willing to stay with you over a long period of time. That is how the West grew. That is how China developed. That is how those that are interested in growth will grow. I mean, Think about it. How many tractors do you have in Nigeria? I've often asked this question. How many combined harvesters do you have in Nigeria? When you don't have all of this, how do you support the agro process? This is the era where we should go on massive importation of machineries, not on food that we can produce here. This is the time where the federal government will ban everything Nigeria can import, everything Nigeria can produce, and say, if we won't die because we need to produce them, make that hunger kill us here. We must get to that point where fear should not be the driving force of our engagement in what is needed to be productive for the sake of this country. We must get to that point where our dreams, our vision, our drive to ensure that the interest of our people is seen in the development of industrial park in every local government of every state in this country. That should be what drives us. Boko Haram, IPOB, and all of these socio-economic menace, cultural socio-economic menace, are driven by economic issues. So our insecurity, our kidnappings, our banditry are all based on insecurity. Think about it. I'm writing to the Thank you.